Amazon, of course, is trying to union bust in Bessemer, Alabama, at their warehouse there, where they're undergoing a vote. Why don't we play that clip real quick?
We at the Birmingham team have a great leadership. We really don't need anyone coming in and telling us what they want to give us, because basically we have everything we need here. Always wanted to work for Amazon. This is the only place I've seen that have benefits from day one. There's no waiting period. You got chances to advance.
To be a union rep in Los Angeles at International Airport, and they don't do nothing but take your money. They just take your money, and they don't do anything for you. I would keep what Amazon got. I love it. Yeah, I want to make my career here. I don't need the union. I'm going to vote no.
I think the union coming in here would be devastating.
We're all one, let's get it done.
Okay, so Julia, where did these ads appear? How did you learn about those?
Okay, I want to clarify, I did not report a story on these ads.
Oh, I apologize. I'm so sorry. I had your story up. Oh, I apologize. Okay. We've been covering, I apologize. That's somehow that came out, I think, through a tweet that I had. But you're following what's happening in with the Amazon right now. So, okay, so these propaganda campaigns, obviously Amazon has been consistently and regularly like trying to pressure and intimidate workers through multiple different tactics, even like changing, somehow going to the government to like extend the red lights on camera. It was just insane, absolutely insane. Does this seem to be working? Are people like, is there any sense that these ads people are taking it seriously?
I mean, that seems kind of, impossible to say until we know the results of the union election, but it does, even just kind of the scope of the union busting efforts have shown kind of just how powerful Amazon is. In the traffic light example is a great example of Amazon basically bending local governments to their will to, run these warehouses where workers are exploited in all sorts of ways. I think, the other point to make here is kind of what we were talking about before, but it would be really powerful if more elected officials were saying something about the union election, specifically Joe Biden. And he said he would be the union president, and it would be really powerful if he stepped in and God forbid went to Alabama, but hasn't. Like, whether union busting tactics like this are effective, I'm not the right person to answer that question in the case of the Amazon union, but they're definitely making their best effort, and they definitely could be successful.
Esperanza, I mean, you've done organizing. Have you ever dealt with any sort of busting?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've dealt with some vicious union busting attacks. I mean, and the only thing that can get past that are strong and deep and militant organizing with a conscious cadre of workers. I mean, we're going to face a lot of hurdles, a lot of obstacles. I mean, the opposition is going to fight us to the death, to the end, right? And so we have to be as strongly and militantly organized as possible so that we can withstand these blows, because they are blows and they are setbacks. And if we're not organized, we're not going to be able to go through it. But I think that on the bigger picture, we have to not simply look at this economically, but also politically. I mean, this points out one of the fundamental contradictions of a liberal capitalist democracy. I mean, how can we say that we have the freedom of association when you have union busting firms which are legal and can run around, and their job is to use the wealth and power of the capitalist class to shut down and deny workers the right of freedom of association? There is no right of free association when you have union busting firms running around interfering with what you're doing, right? And I think Lenin said it in State and Revolution, which is that freedom in capitalist society is the same as it has always been, freedom for the slave owner, like it was in Greek society. And
right.
Ultimately, we're going to have to resolve the fundamental political contradiction of our democracy.
And these firms are making millions and millions of dollars. It is jarring do you guys have any sense of like how they form, where, I've read some reports about them doing some overseas work, but do you have a sense of like how they come about? Nothing. No. Okay. I just figured I'd throw it out there because you're both,
there are some union busters. Like, for example, one man wrote a diary about how he was a union buster. I forgot the name of the book, but you can search it and find it. Some people are recruited to the other side. I know Lyft attempted to recruit me to do policy for them in California. And I was like, I would rather starve than work for the enemy. But, also like these people are expert in communication, in psychological manipulation. I mean, they, in opposition research, like they recruit from experts in their field who can run disinformation campaigns and know how to commit mass manipulation.
Oh my God, that's horrifying. I've read about some counterinsurgency, like people who worked in counterinsurgency programs going to the States to work on union busting. Thanks for watching and listening to The Nomiki Show. But remember to click like and subscribe on YouTube, and please share on social media. If you're not already a patron, please join us for as low as $5 a month on patreon.com/The Nomiki Show for early and special content. That investment makes a huge difference. We are not corporate media raking in the dough. It's really you guys that are keeping us going. So please consider being a patron. And to our current patrons, thank you so much. We are incredibly grateful to you. We also now have swag. So check us out on thenomikishow.com to get your mugs, your totes, and your stickers.